For those struggling with end-of-life issues for themselves and their families, it's good to know that there's some place that they can turn. Amanda Jaska is a clinical grief counselor with Gilchrist, part of the GBMC family. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
This is a topic that I feel like, obviously we all go through it, but we don't really know what we should do or how we can navigate this time. It's a lot of pressure and a lot of mourning. Tell me about Gilchrist counseling and support. How do they aid people during a time when they're encountering this?
Sure. Well, at Gilchrist, we're a part of the GBMC family, and our focus is on providing compassionate care at every stage of life, towards the end, serious illness. So our particular piece in counseling and support is to be able to help aid those families by offering them support, education, counseling, when they're actually being with a loved one who's facing the end of their life.
I think a lot of times the loved ones, the caregivers, or just the people who are in the family are so concerned about the person who is passing or at the end of life that they don't really take a moment to think about themselves. And so how is it that you're able to sort of meet their needs emotionally and mentally at that time?
Sure. So at Gilchrist, we provide that, like I said, that individualized support where we're able to say, hey, you know what, you're struggling by watching this person who you loved decline in health, which, if you've been a part of that before, or if you're watching somebody, as their health is declining, you can just imagine the multitude of emotions that you go through. So we're here to just be there with the family members to say, that's okay. It's okay if you're feeling upset. It's okay if you're feeling overwhelmed. It's okay if you're just struggling with saying goodbye. So we're there to really help them with that aspect. But also, we provide lots of different groups, different events throughout the year to also help bridge that support in a community type of atmosphere as well.
So they're not doing it alone. They have a one-on-one, but they also have the community aspect. And I'm wondering who can access these services. Who is it for?
It's for anybody, which is wonderful. Of course, at Gilchrist, we provide that support to all of the family members who we care for, their loved one, but we also are there for the community as well. So it's great to be able to say, you don't just have to have known us to be able to provide or to receive our care, but to be able to recognize, if you had a loved one who died suddenly out in the community, that we also want to provide that grief counseling, that support for you as well.
And then how does that work? How do people connect with Gilchrist? And I'm sure they're going to wonder too about paying for this, because it sounds great and necessary, but a lot of times that's a concern or a hindrance or a barrier.
Sure. Well, for our Gilchrist families, we provide up to 13 months time-limited support at no charge as being part of our family. But for anyone else in the community, like I said, most of our groups, most of our workshops are provided at no cost as well. But if they are interested in receiving that individual counseling, we do operate off of a sliding scale. So
that's wonderful.
So we really don't want to turn anybody away, because we really want to help them at the time they might need it the most.
Exactly. So you'll work with them, which is amazing. All right. So I know that you have an upcoming event that you want to tell us about.
Yes. So we're really excited. We have 2 events coming up.
Oh, okay.
The first one is one of our larger events that we hold in the fall. It's going to be held on Sunday, November the 3rd, out at the Chrysalis in Symphony Woods in Columbia.
Oh, yeah, I know
and
that.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah.
It's an outdoor event. It's called Twilight in the Woods. And at this event, we offer a time of reflection and remembrance for anyone who's had a loss. So it's beautiful. Candlelights, nature.
Sounds gorgeous.
And
what a great venue. And then on the 16th, you've got something too.
Yes, and it's our annual Wellness Day, which is a day-long seminar we hold at the Conference Center up at Shepherd Pratt, and it's open to anyone who's had a loss as well. It's called How to Nurture Yourself While Grieving, and we provide a morning workshop and an afternoon workshop.
That is great. So to learn more, you can go to gilchristcares.org, right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.